Welcome back. Moving on, Sunil, let's move on to Shankara, the Eye Care Foundation, which in fact was awarded with the FICCI Healthcare Excellence Award, and this was the third time in a row.
Yeah, this is such an honor to this institution this group has created, even though there is a man at the top, but Shankara Eye Care Institution, which is SECI as it called, and they won this. You talked about the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry Healthcare Excellence Awards, and this is the third time in a row. You know, while addressing the community, they said this Shankara is addressing the industry issues, and he says which is the key concern areas such as taking eye care to the masses,
right,
implementing a successful public-private partnership model, reducing the availability of
reducing
the cost
right.
of health care, and enhancing the availability of talent through education and training.
Absolutely.
Shankara is in America, of course. They have a huge chapter in different parts of the country, and they continue to raise funds from here. But the way they deploy this money and their focus is very clear. They are talking about giving vision. Whether you go to Chennai, you go to Karnataka, you go to now Punjab, they are building hospitals left, right and center.
And top-notch practices followed.
Exactly. So I think it's incredible, and I won't be surprised if they continue to win this award 4th year and 5th year in a row. And hats off to them. We'll probably be seeing them soon when they visit our studio for our other show, The Leading Force. Here is the interesting thing. Akshay Kumar, no, not as an actor, so don't get excited about him. You like Akshay Kumar, but Akshay Kumar has produced an American movie now. It's
Breakaway.
Yeah, it's his first home production, which is of course English language. It's not a Hindi, and somehow he takes it for granted because his luck has been on his side for last 6-7 years, and even a stupid movie like what was that,
Teesmar Khan, it didn't do too well. Let's
financially
just leave
he did
it
still
at that.
well, so he takes it for granted that my movies will never do badly, and he has produced this movie with
Russell Peters.
It has Russell Peters, of course, the stand-up comedian. Of course, he's an extraordinary talented person in America and recognized all over, left and right. And the debutant Vinay Vamani, who is from Toronto, this young kid has come together with Russell, and they have made this movie, and the girl Noreen DeWolf, to make this movie called Breakaway. There's a huge publicity. I was in Toronto. This is at they were
the
doing
Toronto International Film Festival.
The TIFF.
Right.
And I was there for other reasons, but they were promoting this movie, posters, flyers, billboards, TV ads, radio promotions. They're not leaving any stone unturned to make sure this movie is a success, but the critics were very
they were not very happy with the way the movie turned out.
They were absolutely ruthless. But you know, critics don't really define commercial success, otherwise most of Akshay Kumar's, forget
movies
about productions,
would have
his own performances, the movies in which he has worked, some of them were obviously very good, like Hera Fairy and other, but generally critics are not on his side, so who cares, as long as he can make the money and see his movie all the way to the box office success.
I still wish him all the best, though.
I'm sure that was a closing statement when it comes to Akshay Kumar or any Hollywood actor or Bollywood actor.
Anyone.
But I really am fond of this other lady, you know, Anita Desai. She's coming back after 6 years, I think, and she was once again quietly writing her book. This was a long await. The latest book, The Artist of Disappearance. This is her first in the last 7 years. The last was, of course, The Zigzag.
In 2004,
That's right. And Anita is, of course, a mother of Kiran Desai, who is the Booker winner. Herself is a decorated winner and writer. But, you know, Anita touches very nicely. She says, you know, even though she continues to delve on her memory, and based on that, she wants to write and the past experience. But she says, I miss India intensely, especially when I'm writing, because it remains my subject. She never changes from there. But even after more than 20 years abroad, it remains the material of all my work.
So she literally, it's in her memory, and it's from there that she plucks out stories and puts them down on paper.
But you know, what she says is that even though I'm constantly mining treasures of my memory, and she returns to the country very frequently. She says, but you know, going there frequently.
As a visitor is so different from living there.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I go there.
As we would all know.
I would certainly agree with that because I am in India every second month, but I have never felt that I've been able to kind of connect and live there like I would want to live there and really experience true India, because it's all about focus, work, running around and never finding time for what you want to do. And she's right, and we wish her great success for her new novel.
And we can't wait to get our hands on that book.
I'm sure we'll get a copy for a review and we'll bring it to our viewers.
Absolutely.
Now moving on to another area where we continue to be notorious as our fellow Indians and don't stop from their greed. Here is the California man, Lal Bhatia. He is 43 years old from Walnut Creek, California. He has been picked up. He has been now sentenced on September 14 for 63 months in prison and ordered to pay a restitution.
2 million.
It's a true Hollywood story. It's so interesting that he forms a gang with a person named...
different fictitious names.
Yeah, you know, one is such an interesting, like a Hollywood movie. He names him as Sir Richard Benson, which is Mr. Burger.
Right.
Then he has a Dr. Adrian Michaels, who is actually portrayed by his another friend Shelton. And then he has got another fellow friend, Atul Verma, who is supposed to be playing another character. So they create essentially a company.
A fictitious company.
A fictitious company which is London based.
Right.
And they say this company has got assets in millions and or probably billions, and who is willing to look at case by case basis to give loans and fund projects. So they go, there are 2 cases which have been given and cited for which they were tried, and the company is called Sherwin and Noble Limited.
And they even had a glossy brochure complete with details.
Of course. If you're looking for the kind of money they were making from the fees, so they had two clients. One was looking to build a private club in Las Vegas, and
right.
they were inducing them to become victims. And the other one is to build a hotel, I think in Florida.
And an aquarium and an entertainment complex.
So these people, they would approach them and say, we will fund your project, and from a company, and they would bring Mr. Burger as a Sir Richard Benson, owner of the Sherwin and Noble Limited, a multimillionaire, a billionaire. And they would, then Mr. Michaels would be introduced, and then they would have Mr. Atul, take the application, do the due diligence, do the loan processing. But in the meantime, what they would do is take the clients and ask them to come up with a fees, because you have
the advance fees.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and they would give them nicely documents saying that what if your application was not approved, we'll after some expenses give your money back. Close to $2 million advance payment from just 2 clients. Now, this is very interesting way to make money, and they were of course booked, and now he has to go and serve.
I tell you, time and time again, the kind of intelligence people employ for this, if only it was put in more proper methods.
We are our own enemies, and we look at any opportunity to make money fast, and we come with, of course, movies become an inspiration to us, and this is what these guys did. Now they're going to be in the jail for quite some time,
right.
And everybody has been jailed from one term to another, and with, of course, the money they have to pay. And Nitya, we have another very unfortunate, a very sad story about the one we covered earlier, Mr. Ranchod Lakha. He is from Georgia, Alpharetta. He's a 61-year-old guy, and we covered this story a few weeks ago. He was flying in a plane with
fellow passengers.
He was in a Delta flight from Dallas to Atlanta, and I don't know what went wrong with him, and he was trying to touch her, and she was at that time sleeping, and suddenly she woke up, and she in fact told him not to do it.
But and he repeated the act.
He in fact asked, what is wrong? Don't you like it? And then he went about it again, and of course she went and complained to the staff, and he was arrested.
I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy, Sunil. And not just speaking as a woman, even as a person in general, staunch measures have to be taken. He probably thought he could get away with it.
Well,
that's the worst part.
Not really in this case. So now, well, he agreed guilty, and he confessed to it, and so he has to now serve his term, and he's booked for the crime, so that goes on his record. Not a good story for
Yeah, he
somebody
gets
at the age
registered
of
as a sex
61.
offender. That's right.
61 is not an age, or no age is good for making any kind of such offenses if they are
Absolutely.
not willingly acceptable to the other party. And one more crime story, this time again from this Massachusetts man who is
For insider trading, right.
insider training, embezzlement of funds, mischief, cheating, I don't know.
It takes all kinds, Sunil.
Manosa, Karunata Laka,
Karunatilaka, right. Manosa Karunatilaka.
I can't even get
Yes.
his name right, but this man got his act right.
Right.
And now he has been sentenced for 1.5 years in prison and 35,000 in fines. What a shame, because what he did, he was involved in insider trading about a semiconductor company from Taiwan.
Right.
And I believe the beneficiaries made about 1 million. Of course, he got the part of the proceeds from the act that he did, which was in 2009. He would pass on the message through telephone conversations, and of course, the securities buying was being done selectively according to the information he was giving. So rightfully, the U.S. District Judge Rakoff pronounced the sentence, and he was given due for what he deserved. He is now serving, and what a track record he is leaving. I don't know where is he going to go from here. His family
But
would
it
be hurt.
resulted in trading gains of more than $1 million. I mean, these kind of amounts have
Doesn't
now
matter,
become...
Nitya, no matter what the gain is wrong.
Absolutely,
You'll-
oh no.
You know,
Yeah,
you'll
I
be picked up
completely
at some
agree.
point or the other. So he's stuck.
Right.
Now some funny part. Your own Mr. Aziz Ansari,
Right.
the funny man. You know, he's been now in movies and he has been doing stand-up shows. He did recently a film called 30 Minutes or Less. Is now also on the back of the cover September issue of Rolling Stone magazine, and they dubbed him as the funniest man under 30.
Wow.
This man is not even 30 and he's making such
A name, such an impact.
absolutely. And he is a big fan of a fellow from his own town, Mr. what's his name, Tom. I don't get his name right, but he, you
right.
know, he's of course Ansari is born here and he's born to Tamil parents, but he has got bigger dreams than his mentor because or his role model. He used to do small stand-up comedy, and then one day he said, you know what, I need to move to New York.
Right.
So he moved to New York and applied for a marketing job, and then suddenly he realized that's not what I want to do. This city has great things to offer. So he went for his passion, which was stand-up comedy, and grew from, he was doing earlier like 2-minute act, then he grew into full 30-minute act. Now he does the full show by himself. He was not even 28. He had the courage to give up his small town, unlike I said his role model Tom. He's from Bennetville, South Carolina. I'm sure we'll see him and probably bring him to the show one of these days to meet the community and our viewers.
Absolutely.
Nitya, here is the festival season of India here. So we have our own Dussehra. Dussehra is the end of Ram Leela, which I think runs for 10 days or
10 days.
10
right.
days.
In simple words, it's just a fight of good over evil,
I think-
triumph of good over evil.
Let's talk to the man who is responsible for this project for last, I think it's been 10 years. They had a kickoff at the Indian Consulate.
Right.
And Prabhu Dayalji inaugurated it. And he is in his 12th year actually. Mr. Mangal Gupta, let's get him on the phone and talk to him.
Sure.
So Mr. Mangal Gupta, good evening. Sunil Hali from ION South Asia. Congratulations once again on your 12th year and for the kickoff you had at the Indian Consulate. Tell us something about this Dussehra, that project that you've been doing for 12 years. What is Dussehra? What does it mean? Why you're doing it?
Thank you, Sunilji, for calling and asking this question. Well, Dussehra is a national festival of India, celebrated all over India, and it's culture of India, not a religion. And the most important part of this festival is that it celebrates the victory of good over evil. So according to mythology, which we all know, when there is problems, atyachar and things like that, superpower or something happens and things are taken care of. And the children, it's very good for children because children, they learn that it does not pay to be evil. So that is the best part of this. Our children from very childhood learn to be good, and this will pass on our heritage. Now this is the 13th year we have been doing it, and this is as Consul General said on the launch day, that this is the largest Dasara festival outside India. We burned three effigies of Raman, Kumbhakarna and Meghnad, which comes from India. They are 25 feet high.
Wow.
We have Ram Leela, and we have firework and all kinds of celebrations. Now,
yeah,
by the way, I just want to mention one more important point,
Sure.
that in New Delhi, in Ram Leela Maidan, which is now world famous, this festival is celebrated every year, and the Prime Minister of India every year inaugurates that festival. So, and he does because it's a national festival. It's celebrated from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and all over India. Now, another thing which I wanted to tell you, and I'm very happy and proud to say that we have on this very occasion, first time, we are going to have the first Ram Leela ground in USA, where we will celebrate these festivals, and this will be the first Ram Leela Maidan or ground outside India. It's a big project, but it's doable, and we are going to do it. And then we will have our own place. We don't have to run around every whole year about permits and licenses. So I'm very happy to announce that, and I need the support of the community and a person like you to make this a successful project.
We commend you, Mr. Gupta. This is extraordinary work because it's not just about the culture of India, it's essentially the human culture that you are promoting here, which is the victory of good over bad, regardless of what ethnicity, what community, which part of the world they are in, especially in today's time. And it's extraordinary that since you have been also involved as a founder of largest institutions of our community, including the Federation of Indian Associations in America, then the Dashera, and I believe you're also involved with the Sankat Mochan project of Shri Hanumanji.
Who is?
So it's wonderful. We will be following this with you all the way to the celebration day, and talk to you one more time when the event takes place. But congratulations for this. We will be always with you, and whichever way we can support your event, we will continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm counting on you, and we have got to make this a grand success. And so we just need your help to do this together.
Certainly. Thank you very much. Signing off with Mr. Mangal Gupta now.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunilji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Nitya, this is a good thing. Essentially, the message is of victory of good over bad.
Right.
So that brings to the end of today's top stories.
Time sure flies when you're having fun, Sunil.
Yeah, certainly it was fun. Some of it was fun, and some of the big achievements at the United Nations this week, and our own Sitaraman talking about Indian economy, some of the bad experiences by some of our fellow community persons. But overall, it was a very good week. A lot of activity in New York. Now, all waiting for the next week to come in, and we'll be following up what the community is up to, what the world is up to, and what we do.
Absolutely. We certainly will have more stories next week. But for this week, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching us here on ION South Asia. I am Nitya Karthik.
And I'm Sunil Hali.
Do watch us, same time, same show. You can also watch us now on YouTube.